Okay. Hi. Hello. I'm here. I I have a few things that kind of happened yesterday, and I'm trying to actually get this to work. But yeah. Hi. Hope everybody's doing great today. I know I am. I'm in a pretty good day today. I'd say. Um. Yeah. I went to the gym today. Had a great workout. Had a great conversation with some of my friends, and I think I made some good progress on reaching out to other people, especially those who I want to continue building a strong foundational relationship with. I've felt like for the past few months I haven't been really that well about communicating with people. So I felt that things were kind of going off to the wayside for me, and I wanted to change that. I wanted to go ahead and start reaching out to people that I felt that were you know worth to try and reach out to that I haven't in a while, and try to build a stronger relationship, or at least strengthen the relationship we already have. And that's the best way I can describe that. And that kind of leads me to today. You know, speaking of fixing relationships, I want to fix my relationship with myself and the things that I need to get done. Right? We all have things that we need to get done in a day. Some of us have more things to do, some of us has less things to do. Some of us don't really worry about the things we do during the day. But that leads me to this. It's going to be my first co-working stream, so I hope to inspire some people to get their work done, and provide some company for to them for that. Help each other to work towards our goals. So I have a few tasks today. I couldn't set up the stream. I think it's either Stream Elements or there's like some extension, right? Where you can put all the tasks on there and then just like, check them off and all that. I don't have that. So instead, what I'll have to do is I'll have to put everything onto a pinned message. So we'll have to do some things here. So, okay. So I'll go ahead and do that. But yeah, most of these tasks are going to be related towards stream or otherwise content creation adjacent. I feel as if, or rather, I chose to do this because I didn't think there would be a better opportunity to do it. So, like, for example, if I were to, do this stream today and do like a gaming stream or something like that, that would actually take time away from me actually being able to get these tasks done. That need to be done. And I generally wanted to, essentially turn stream into an opportunity to get my tasks done while also helping other people get their tasks done too. Not necessarily like physically helping people, but keeping people company and just providing a good place for people to just come in and, co-work on stuff. Okay, tasks worked on. Worked on? Tasks. Let's to do tasks. So it could be to do list? No. Tasks. I'm gonna just keep it simple. Task list. Task list. Let's see. List items. Okay, let me go in order of how I'm gonna do it. So edit scripts for personal TikTok. Create script for video project. And then the next one was, I think the next one would be list items on eBay. Just to keep that in there. And then the other ones would be edit couple of TikToks / shorts. And then I think the next one should be edit the YouTube video. Okay. I think that's okay. That's all I have on my list right now. And then I can also put in, let's see. I can also put in update stream, not the assets. I'm not looking to update my stream assets. I'm looking to update, let's see, my, what would I call it? What would it be called, right? If I were to update some of the stream stuff, but not exactly the stream assets. I think stream assets, would it be stream features? Stream, it's very difficult to come up with something like that. What's the name for it? It's like stream assets. There's stream assets, then there's the branding. Would it be, I think it would just be stream features at this point. It would be stream features. Stream features, stream bonuses? Stream features. I think the best word I can come up with it right now is stream features, and then the next one would probably be update stream features, and then investigate multi-streaming or YouTube streaming. I think that's what we could do, right? Okay, how do I do? Where's the pin emote? Pin emoji. Push pin. That's what it's called. A push pin, right? Yeah, just a push pin. Boom. Put that there. Put that there. And then we chat that there, and then I will go ahead and pin this. What do you mean? Why is it not pinning? Hold on. What do you mean unable to pin? You can pin it. What you talking about? There we go. Okay. I think I did that. Oh, now the thing is everywhere. Just crazy. Well, it's gonna be in there anyways. Yeah. So there's my task list. I have a couple of things I need to work on, so I guess go ahead and do that. All right. Let me actually. Do I have a timer? Do I actually have that? I don't know if we still have that timer. I thought I did at one point. Output timer, scripts. Wait, there's captions? What is this? Hmm. Let me see that. What does that do? Testing. What? Wait, it doesn't show up? What do you mean captions? Okay, I'll figure that out later. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's go to. All right, let's get started. All right. Let's see. Actually, should I move my camera angle just so it's a little less staticky? Oh. Oh no. What did I? Okay. All right. Well, you guys can't see that, but I can. Oh boy. I messed up. So, apparently I disconnected my speaker. Hi Zach. How's it going? Oh no. Okay. This is and it's like one of those fancy speakers too, so it's not like I can just put that in there. Not the only one having tech issues today. Well, mine's a physical tech issue. Oh, that hurts. Ah, ow. Okay. Okay, that works. Okay. Okay, I'm here. I feel like I should. Okay, I'm gonna do that there. I should move my thing so it faces the wall, so it actually looks like I'm doing something different. Mine was two. Technically, I had to replace an HDMI cable because apparently I was gaming with an HDMI, not DPI, for a while. Oh, wait, was that? Wait, DPI? Isn't DPI like the mouse thing? Do you mean like DisplayPort? I'm glad you fixed it. Hold on. Oh, I'm breaking the immersion. Okay, I don't know if that'll work, but we'll try it. I feel like I should just experiment with different camera angles at this point. Oh god. All right. See my side profile, like, yeah, it's different. Okay. See, I like that angle. Hold on. Wait, what if I do this? Right? This looks more interesting? Oh, DisplayPort input. Yeah. Oh, okay. I got it. It makes sense. Actually, I should move this speaker behind it so I can have mouse. So I can have a mouse. Crispy. That's what I use. Yeah. I just thought today would be a good day to start experimenting with new stuff. Oh no. What am I gonna do? Google that there, and then okay. Okay. I think that'll work. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like how my hair looks right now. My hair kind of, it's all over the place. Oh god. Oh god. Okay. I gotta put this over here. See, I swapped my desk out like a few weeks ago. It's like now a month ago or so. But I like my desk where it's at, but I feel like I don't have enough space. It's all good, Zach. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. I hope you have a good stream. I appreciate for the lurk. Appreciate you as always. Ooh, okay. Let's see. Let me. Okay, what was I gonna do? Oh, the freaking timer. Uh, actually, Pomo timer. Is there a Pomodoro timer? That's what I want. Okay, actually, let me put this. Let me put this over here. Let me make sure that's there. And then we'll do. No, not that one. Here's the other one. An aesthetic timer. Why is it? Is that supposed to be Korea? That's crazy. Well, let me. If I can. No. Of course, my phone goes off. Let's see. I want to do. How do I do? Oh, okay. This will work. Wait, how does it? Wait, how did I do it last time? No, that's not how I was supposed to do it. It was just. There we go. All right, and then. How do I do the? How do I do the? Hmm. Okay. capture. So Pomo. Oh, there we go. So put that. And then we'll put that, put this here. Oh, be just above the webcam. Want to be just above the webcam. Just so it's there. Okay. And then all I gotta do is do that. Okay, cool. All right, let's get started. Smile we get. Smile we get. So are we supposed to forget how fireworks ignite in our eyes when we see them, tingle in our skin as they approach us? The smile we get when we find them in a crowded room. The intimacy of knowing every inch of each other's hearts. Hmm. Let's see. No, that's not it. What is going on? Why is there so much? Okay. Show this hearts. Mm. Let's do. No, we don't have the keyboard. Mm. So we're supposed to forget fireworks. We see them tingle in our skin as they approach us. The smile. I guess I could find another word for a smile. Hmm. Okay. I guess that'd work. The grin. Mm. Mm. Express. Mm. Smile. To see every inch of each other's hearts. Just memories. Half meaningful. Half meaningful. Because the other half is gone. And yet we as if we never had enough. As if we were gluttons. As if we were gluttons eating more. As if we never had enough. As if we were mindlessly eating. Let's see. Not expect to forget. Control is nowhere we can find it. We can't find it. We cannot expect to forget. The memories have become implanted on our souls. And there will be a time when the mind forgets. It's another word for, let's see, what's another word for each other's hearts? See them, the tingle in our skin as they approach us, the beaming smile we get when we find them in a crowded room, the intimacy of knowing each other's hearts wholly. Now just memories, half meaningful, because the other half is gone. And yet we crave more, as if we never had enough, as if we were. Oh, that sounds better. Control is nowhere where we can find it. We cannot expect to forget it. Or passenger that will never come. Control is nowhere we can find it. We cannot expect to forget. When the memories have become implanted on our souls. In our souls, on our souls, in our souls. There will be a time the mind forgets. But the heart never forgets. What did they say? It was like something like let's see. But the heart never forgets the feeling. Let's see. Ooh. Okay. Now let's see what they have. Hmm. In our eyes when we see them. Skin. They approach us. Draw near. What was the cinema for? What was it? It was I think okay. Hmm. The way No, not that. No, that won't work. Hmm. The way we are overjoyed to find them in a crowded room. The intimacy of knowing each other's hearts wholly. Now just memories half full, because the other half is gone. Yet we crave more, as if we never had enough. As if we were a passenger waiting for a train that will never come. Control is nowhere we cannot expect to forget. When the memories have become implanted in our souls, there will come a time when the mind forgets, but the heart never forgets. Hmm. Hmm. What do you mean? No, that doesn't make sense. Oh, this stuff is like okay. So do fire not ignite when we see them, the tingle in our skin as they draw near. Oh, I guess that's the end of the first pomo. Okay, well, yeah, I got some amount of progress done. Not a whole lot, but a good amount, I'd say. I was working on one of my scripts for my personal posts that I do from time to time. More so related to poetry. So I tend to do stuff like this when I get really inspired, and I really just find myself, sometimes I get lost in my emotions, and I want to find ways to express them without just finding any excuse to complain or be out there and put myself down. Put myself down, as I should say. So I don't want to do something like that. I just think really it's all subjective to how I can express myself. I try to find different words to say, the same thing that other people do. So I think just finding a way to express myself is something that is necessary for myself. Ugh. Oh man. I'm just looking outside right now, and I notice it's gotten very windy. I thought today was going to be really nice, but I guess it turned out to just be a little bit windy, a little bit cloudy. I like to wait sometimes for the weather to be nice, just so I can be outside and be in nature. I believe we can find a lot of things to love about nature. We have more in common with nature than we seem to give ourselves credit for. And I want to say that we shouldn't give up on things like that, because at the core, everything that we want can be found in nature. Wow, that was really deep for no reason. But yeah. Yeah, but I think for the next session, I think I'll be able to finish this script for the video that I was going to make. I think it's going to come together. So hopefully, I can do that. Finish that script and then start writing the next one for the video project. Oh, man. Oh. I hate how I yawn. I don't like how I do that. I also hate this thing. Because it should be like this, no? Right. I should look like this. I should be like this, right? This is how I should look when I'm doing stuff. Everybody tells you sit up straight, keep your shoulders close, and then go ahead and type and all that good stuff. But who knows? Actually, I should have this thing here. And that concludes our first break. And now we just go ahead and work on some more stuff. Okay. Ooh, got a lot. Got a lot there. Okay. Oh, that wind is so loud. That wind is very loud. Oh, we're supposed to forget. Fireworks not ignite. Tingle on our skin when they draw. The way we. Ecstatic. Ecstatic. Oh, ecstatic. That's what it was. Oh, okay. Ecstatic feeling. I think I'm in a crowded room. when the memories have become implanted in our souls, there will come a time when the mind forgets, but the heart never forgets what beauty felt like. Ecstatic feeling to find. This works. Okay. So we're supposed to forget. Do fireworks not ignite in our eyes when we see them? The tingle in our skin as they draw near. A rush of joy to find them in a crowded room. The intimacy of knowing each other's hearts wholly. Now just memories. Half meaningful because the other half is gone. And yet we crave more. As if we never had enough. As if we were gluttonous for love. A traveler waiting for a train that will never come. Control is nowhere to be found. We cannot expect to forget, and the memories are engraved in our souls. There will come a time when the mind forgets, but the heart will never forget. But the heart never forgets what beauty felt like. Damn, that's good. I'm good. Not gonna lie, I'm really good with that. I'm really good with something like that. Let's do poem. Hmm. Interesting. Anyhow, I came to that conclusion. I guess that's fine. Okay, we delete that. So we're done with that. Now I have to look at the script. Is it Illuminati? No, not that. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for something else. access it here. Well, that's crazy. Hmm. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna do. Let me get in there. Check what's up. Oh no. Let's see. Hmm. Let's see. What's the one he was supposed to do? Okay. Pictures. This. Okay, perfect. All right, and then I gotta look at things. Let's see, can we organize this by sort by date? Is that what we're doing? Hmm. 2022. What the heck? That's 2020. Why is there no 2020? Wow, I really don't have any 2020 stuff. That is insane. That is insane. I don't have any 2020 stuff. At least nothing that could be used. I feel like it's something different. What happened to all my stuff that I took? Oh, well. That's the end of the second break. So, fun fact, I did finish the script for my personal TikTok. So now I'm going to update this really quick. Hang on, how do I do this? So I do that. Boom. Do that. Okay. Yeah, I just gotta update all this. Because why not? We're all working on something. So this is fine. Wait, what? Why did it not? Okay. Well, I guess that's there. I'll update that and then I'll pin it. Also, I don't know why that push pin thing like went bigger, but it's okay. Yeah. I've never written a script before. I'll be quite honest. I've never written a script before. Script writing is very new to me. Oh, Ree, hi. Oh, no worries. Don't worry about that. I appreciate you coming by anyways. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be back streaming. I'm just kind of co-working right now. Oh, I forgot to do my timer. Yeah, I hope everything's well. I hope you have a good lurk, whatever you may be working on or anything else you might be doing. But thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it very much. Ree, thank you for the 100 biddies.
Have a good co-working sesh, friend.
Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Appreciate that very much. We gotta catch up someday. One of these days. One of these days we gotta catch up. That's for sure. Yeah. I don't know how to script write. Yes, we do. We gotta make it happen. I'll send you a message, and then we'll plan something out. Yeah, script writing is something new to me. I have never written a script before. I think for scripting like TikToks and YouTube Shorts is a little bit different, because I feel like for those, it's more so just content that you just put out there, right? Because with the first script that I was working on was for kind of like a poetry / kind of freeform content that I was, working with, and I think that's very familiar for me because I've already done it before. So that's pretty simple for me. But when it comes to creating a script for like, say, like a short film, like for example, I have to create a script for a 20-second short film. I know 20 seconds might not seem like a lot, but you have to capture the attention of an audience within those 20 seconds and keep them entertained throughout those 20 seconds. So my thought process is I'm going to go ahead and learn how to write a script. I'm going to go ahead and learn, okay, how can I write a hook? How can I write a good story? And how can I resolve that story too? Because for a short film, I mean, you have to have that sort of continuity. And you have to keep people engaged throughout the entire process. So I think for me, I'm going to have to put myself in that mindset of being not only a script writer, but also a filmmaker. I got to think about, okay, what kind of shots are going to make sense for this? So because once I get done with the script, I have to think about, what else am I able to do? Like how am I going to put this together visually? I think a lot of people who post content, especially on YouTube, for example, they don't necessarily have a script, but they have a general outline of how they want their video to go. They're essentially storytelling in the form of a video. And I think that is very interesting to take inspiration from, because these people do this for a living, and they know how to tell a story effectively through and through, like beginning, middle, end. I am not too familiar with how to tell a story. Like, I'm barely learning how to do that on my own with my own YouTube videos. But when it comes to a script for a short film about something like the year 2020, that's going to be a little bit different than if I were to do in gaming, to be honest. Oh, hi. I'm sorry if I butcher the name of Ren. Okay. Hi, Ren. Yeah, I think it does take a lot to be honest with a lot of the intricacies of thinking, not only about how you structure your stories, but what you put with that story as well. So yeah, I have to figure that out in a process through a different thing. You live your scripts. If I don't, I'll re-ramble. Sad story. You live on your scripts? How so? See, it's funny. I think there's a lot of similarity between gaming content creation and filmmaking. I feel like a lot of people don't understand that. There's a lot of intersecting pieces that people tend to overlook. So I really feel like if I understand one thing, like say script writing for a short film, I think I can translate those skills to my gaming content, and it'll help me better understand, okay, what goal am I trying to achieve with this gameplay or this playthrough or this stream, for example? Like, what is my goal? And if I can kind of structure things in a way that makes sense for me in order to put it all together, then go ahead and do that. They do the key idea in filmmaking as well as gaming as entertainment. Exactly, yeah. The number one goal is to entertain people. I'm not new to the gaming aspect, or at least the gaming content creation sphere. I think the only thing that I really want to learn is, how do I make this entertaining? How do I hold attention? How do I keep things moving without it seeming that I'm just in one spot? I think that's the ultimate goal. Okay, so in that case, I will turn this back on. And then I'll go back to working on stuff. Understandable, yeah. Of course. But I hope your day is going well, Ren. And yeah, feel free to let me know if you're working on anything as well. I also feel most advice people would say is just to talk, and talking is hard. Yeah, it is hard. Especially for me. But I can tell that when I used to do this, I want to say 2 years ago at this point. Actually, 3 years ago at this point. 3 years ago, I look at the content that I made back then versus the content that I make now, and I feel as if I understand it a bit more in the aspect of talking. I also am trying to be more conscious about what I say and how I say it, trying to think more about what I say and taking pauses like this in order to get my thoughts out in a much more understandable way. I know there are a lot of streamers out there that like to talk a lot, like they will go on and on, like they won't stop. So I think just doing this and pausing, it works for me right now. Just kind of thought of something. Live is live and movies are recorded. Talk like you're recording. We strive for more projection while live, rather than making mistakes and redoing it because it's recorded. Oh, I know what you're saying. Perfection. We strive for perfection when we're live, rather than making mistakes and redoing it because it's recorded. I got you. Yeah. I understand that. I think for me personally, perfection, having a perfection mindset is very detrimental for making progress, especially in spaces like Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all of those social medias. I feel like that's what holds a lot of people back. I also think that if we got rid of that sort of perfectionist mindset when we go about creating stuff, I think there could be a lot more creativity out there that a lot of people can put out there in the world. And they can learn. They can learn as they go. Film and broadcasting background and being in front of camera was always harder than behind the scenes work, which is where I felt more comfortable. Yeah. I come from a background of music business, not being an artist. So when I went out and tried to become an artist, it was very difficult for me to put myself in the headspace of an artist, because I was so used to learning about the behind the scenes and what it takes to create, an artist. Try to fight the mold of an ideal streamer or performer. Exactly. So we all have this sort of idea of that we should be this one thing. There's this thing I've noticed among a lot of streamers. And I think this kind of extends to other places. And that is, if I'm not as famous or have the views, the concurrent viewership, and all of that comes with, like, I guess, famous streamers, then they don't think of themselves as being successful in what they do. A lot of people tend to chase numbers rather than chase like something else. Like, say, I want to get better at talking. I want to get better at, gaming. I want to get better at this. I want to get better at that. Everything that's different. I'll give you this. You're communicating with chat, and that's a step above some others. Yeah. I think I have a better understanding of what, at the core, Twitch is, or what the goal is with Twitch, than most other people do. I've been trying to network with a lot of different streamers, and just the conversations that I've seen them have, and I've seen in the streams that I've seen from them, right? Because sometimes I'll just pop in and I'll be like, hey, like what's going on? Or, I'll just silently watch and just observe. Yeah. Networking is hard, but it brought me here, so I try. Exactly. So something like this, right? You're here, you're talking to me. I think a lot of people really just, they misunderstand Twitch a lot. They think, I'm going to go live. I'm going to put this game on. I'm going to play this game for like 2 hours or something, for example, right? And they think everybody's going to come and watch them. But some of the things they don't think about is probably what's holding them back. I think a lot of streamers need to think about a lot more than just what they're playing and what they're putting out there, right? You got to think about your presentation. You got to think about your branding. You got to think about what you want to say. You also have to think about what kind of message do you want to send out there about yourself, about your community, about your overall vibe too. I think, and this might be a hot take, so forgive me if this sounds a little controversial, but I think when streamers say, I want to become a big Twitch streamer, and the only thing they do is play games, but they don't have a bio, they don't have a display picture, they don't have, links to their social media, they don't even have like the basic sort of necessities of a streamer that probably 99%, actually 100% of streamers should have. They don't have at least that kind of stuff. If I see somebody say, I want to become a famous streamer, but they're not putting in at least that amount of effort to put together some sort of package of themselves, then I feel like those people are kind of wasting their time. And like I said, that might be a hot take, but I feel like a lot of those people are just wasting their time on Twitch Yeah, exactly. You need the branding because the first thing, yeah, people do that, they look at the profile, they think, okay, I come across this streamer, I'm like, oh, this streamer looks nice. Let me go look through their stream. They look at the profile. If the vibes don't match, we dip out. Sometimes I give them the benefit of the doubt when they don't have a profile, because sometimes I think, okay, if they're a beginner streamer, they won't have most of that stuff. They wouldn't have thought of it beforehand. Some people do, some people don't. I know that much. Sometimes people struggle with the whole starting stream, stopping stream, and all that. So they really just, they don't start because they feel like they're either not going to be good enough or they're scared to do it. I think a lot of people should just go ahead and do it. However, once you've started, go ahead and start implementing that kind of stuff. Okay. Yeah, if they don't fill out the about section, then yeah, maybe, yeah, it's a little tough. And I know there's some people that stream off of their consoles. And I think that's fine. I think that's great. I remember I did see a streamer, or rather I was talking to a streamer. I think it was like a couple days ago, or probably yesterday. I don't remember. They were asking this question. Their question was something along the lines of, what can I do if I'm streaming off of my console, but I don't have but what if I don't have, like, say, all these settings on my stream? I think they were asking something about their VOD settings. I think it was something like that. And I went ahead and kind of told them, like, hey, like, go to your, like, if you have access to like a laptop or something, or desktop mode, go ahead and go in there, click the setting, go ahead and change all that so that when you're done streaming, the VOD's going to still be there. A lot of people don't think about that stuff until it's too late. And yes, like you said, I'm not judging by layouts. Panels can be a later thing. Yeah. I checked them out. They didn't have all that stuff. And I thought, yeah, they should definitely put together some stream stuff. Yeah, exactly. Even with the mobile device. There was also somebody else who I was talking to who had some trouble with their branding. And what they were asking for was, how do I deal with constantly wanting to change my stream assets, my branding assets, all that stuff? I essentially told them, don't worry about that. You're always going to be wanting to redo your panels and stuff. Yeah, exactly. Even I'm guilty of that. I change around all my panels, not very frequently, but somewhat frequently. Like, I just changed them not that long ago to where, it kind of matches everything else in my profile. So that way, when somebody comes in, they look at that and say, hey, look at that. He has everything well put together. And it looks like a stream that, even I would click on. Oh, what did I do? I clicked off of that. Your mod yells at you because you do it every 6 months. What's your main reason why you rebrand your panels every 6 months? Let's see this. That there. I just think of something better I can do with them. Usually inspired Octane. Yeah. I have those bouts too. I think when I started streaming again, because I used to stream two or 3 years ago, and I had my branding assets from then. And when I came back, I didn't really have a plan to change them. So after a while, I kind of left it alone because I wanted to focus on the stream first, get used to the whole routine of streaming. And then I was like, okay, let me start thinking about branding assets. Let me start thinking about what else I can change about the stream so that when I'm ready to start taking it a little bit more seriously, I can go ahead and start changing these things. And I did. I thought about the branding stuff because I had looked at a few videos, and those videos kind of gave me a little bit more inspiration on how to put it together. Like, you know, what makes up a good stream, like what makes up a good, like, you know, about section, panel section, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I worked on them until I found something that I liked. Changed them so much, and honestly, I just wanted something that suited me, something I wouldn't want to change. I crafted my favorite panels, and now I decided on what I wanted them to look like. Yeah. I think before, I had a hard time nailing down what I wanted my branding to be, because I really had a hard time identifying like why I wanted to stream. And that's exactly what I was going to get into. So what got me into streaming? So back then, I started streaming. I really started streaming in 2020. COVID, right? You know, everybody's at home, don't have nothing to do. Don't have anything to do. So yeah, I was in school at the time. I was in college for music business. And my school had told me that they were going to discontinue our program because our university decided that they wanted to cut that program. Most likely it was bad timing and also due to COVID, but the reason we got was the school wasn't seeing the results it was looking for, so they decided to pull the plug on it. What we found out afterwards, and this is through some meetings with some of the faculty, and I think with some of the school's administration, because there was two sides to that whole situation. It was, we're gonna Like we have to. So our program was told, the people who were running our program, they were told. They told us, rather, they told us the university's pulling the plug on the program. And they basically said like, oh, they pulled the plug on the program and that's it. No explanation, nothing at all. So for a time, it was... Hold on. Give me a second. They told us that it was because the school just didn't see... Or what was it? The school just didn't like them. Yeah, right? Gotta love the view bots. The school just didn't like what they saw. So they decided to pull the plug. That's what the programming heads told us. The school ended up telling us, right? Or rather, they ended up saying that it was budget cuts. School told us it was budget cuts. Later we find out, and this was like down the line, because it was a mess. I'll tell you, it was a big mess. They did allow us to finish the program. So they gave us the option. They gave us an option that we wanted to either stick with the school and finish the program, or we were going to be able to transfer out to a different university to finish out the program. So we later found out that the whole reason why they pulled the plug on the program was because one of our program reps, I guess the program founder, because how it worked was it wasn't part of the school. It was like, say, it was like a partnership, essentially. So this school, I'll call it a school because it was essentially a school in a university. So it was a school for music business. It wasn't from the US. They were like two industry heads that were looking to create a music program in that university to compete with the other music programs that were available at the time. From what I understood, there was somewhere along the line a breach of contract between them. I don't know who breached the contract first, but somebody breached the contract. Also, thank you for the hydrate, Ren. Also, I have a gallon jug. Gotta drink plenty of water. But yeah, somebody breached contract, and we don't, to this day, I don't know who. It's all I can think when you take a sip. Yeah. If I take a chug, like, I'm going to be going to the bathroom a whole lot. So what it was is somebody breached the contract. That's what we found out later on. Somebody breached the contract, and the school essentially had all authority to just say, we're gonna get rid of this program. We can either absorb you guys into our own program. Also, I forgot we were supposed to be working on stuff, but that's okay. There was a breach of contract, and the school had the authority to just pull out the program, pull out from the program. And so then I had to decide, okay, what am I going to do? Am I going to stick with the school, the university, or am I going to... Actually, I need to snooze this. Handbrake. Am I going to stick with the school for the program, like the university's music program, or am I going to switch over to a different school and try that out? Well, the program options that they were giving us for the university that was handling the music school at the time, they were not that great. I can tell you that. They were not that great. And then they essentially had a meeting with us. It was like a 40-something minute meeting where they were explaining like all the options and what was going on and stuff like that. The option was we could stay with the school. We were going to graduate on time, but we were not going to get the same resources from when we were in the previous program. And I say the resources as in we won't have the resources of like having our own classrooms, having our, our cohorts, graduate together, because we were all different cohorts. We weren't all the same. We weren't the same like year, if that makes sense. Like we got put together in terms of cohort rather than, like, oh, are you a freshman? Are you a sophomore? Like, no, it's like you're in a cohort. It's kind of structured a little bit differently. So we don't get the cohort. We don't get, the performances, the performance practices that we would get. It was just in general, it was pretty much like, we're going to give you a chance to finish out the program with us, but you're not going to get the same classes that you were offered when you were in the program, and everything is going to change. Everything's going to change to the university standards, and that was a pretty big departure from what was put in place. Oh yeah, people were mad. People were mad when they found out like what the options were, because they gave us a sample schedule of like what it would look like, and they told us, yeah, just let us know like what you want. Like, do you want to stay or do you want to try to go to a different school? Yeah, a lot of people were pissed because they essentially said, we did not sign up for this. Like, we did not want to, integrate ourselves into their program, because their program was more classical based. Like in terms of classical training of how to be like a musician, how to be like a composer, like all this classical stuff. So it's more like, oh, you'll be learning like more, like a lot of music theory stuff, a lot of technical stuff, rather than the whole like real world stuff that we were learning at the time. And from that, I was like, okay, I see what the options are. Let me see what this other school is offering. So I reach out to the other school and I say, hey, I would like to find out what you guys offer. Yeah, classical being a fundamental in learning, but not a priority. Yeah, we already had the fundamentals. We were already taught like how to do music theory, how to do like, in some classes they were doing composing, like they were doing the fundamental stuff. Like we still had to do the fundamental stuff about music. So it wasn't like, oh, we were just doing whatever for the modern music industry at the time. So I ended up contacting the other school and asked them, hey, like what options do you guys have for me? Because my program's getting canceled and I'd like to see what the options are. So then we talked for a bit. I met with I believe it was the dean of the school it was the dean of the College of Arts and Media. I think that's what they called it. So it was part of a bigger, broader program where they had like arts and media. So they had like different programs and stuff under that umbrella. But I heard that they had, you know, pretty similar stuff to what I was already learning, but a lot more, let's say, compared to what I was learning at the time, it was an upgrade. It was definitely an upgrade because I was told like, yeah, like you'll have pretty much, you know, similar classes. You'll pretty much be able to graduate with the same degree. The catch was I had to backtrack 2 years. So that meant instead of graduating in 2021, like I was originally supposed to graduate because I had started in 2017 with that music program, I was essentially backtracked 2 more years. So instead of graduating in 2021, my projected year was supposed to be 2022, which I thought, okay, I spend another year in school, and this will most likely put me in a better place. It'll most likely give me a more fulfilling experience, and I'd still be able to do everything that I want to do within the program. And it'd still be, how you say, well adapted for the modern music industry. So I ended up taking that route. But, you know, that didn't come without its problems. I quickly realized that taking that route was going to be difficult. It wasn't going to be easy. It was more intense. The intensity turned up a lot more. And I felt almost like an outsider. Because I really was. I was part of, you know, the other school. I wasn't part of the other university. I wasn't part of this one. Like I didn't come into this school with the same group of people that are all used to each other in the same classes. Now I was pretty much the new student. And I think I did fine for the most part. So end up doing that. So now how I get to streaming. Well, I find that I still had a lot of free time, even though, you know, COVID was happening and things were not so great for myself. I found myself in a situation where, you know, I felt a little bit isolated. And at the time, I believe I was really sick. I didn't know what was going on. So I needed an outlet to kind of just go out there and just do my own thing, you know. And I turned to streaming because I thought, well, streaming might be a good way to get myself out there and, you know, meet new people and whatnot. I actually started on YouTube with streaming, and I migrated to Twitch. And it was weird because you would think I'd start on Twitch and go to YouTube. For me, that wasn't the case. I started on YouTube, did a couple streams there. I think I did somewhat well for YouTube, considering that one of my first streams was like Animal Crossing, back when Animal Crossing was like the big thing. And, you know, if you were there, like, yeah, everybody was all about Animal Crossing. Oh God, all this ads and stuff. Yeah, all the Animal Crossing hype was around that time. And I loved Animal Crossing until I lost everything. Yeah. So I did Animal Crossing for a bit. I went through my Animal Crossing arc, which actually I was actually a fan of Animal Crossing way before 2020. So people can't say I was riding the hype train. I was in that way before that. Way before then. So I was doing Animal Crossing, and I believe my first stream was like, it was like 15 or something viewers at the time, which if you compare it to nowadays, it's like that's insane to have 15 viewers on YouTube versus Twitch. It's like, you know, for your first stream, that's pretty good. And that's with pretty much no advertising, no like social media posts, or no like no presence. It's really good. And then somehow I found myself migrating to Twitch, and that's where I started to kind of cook a little bit. I was like, okay, I've done streams for a bit. You know, I did the basic stuff. And then I kind of went ahead and, you know, started streaming. YouTube Live was my goat, but then I got a job. Yeah, I'll get to that too. So I started streaming. I streamed for about 2 years or so. And in between when I started and to when I ended, I had met so many people through either TikTok, through Discord, through, you know, YouTube and Twitch. Like I was just out there, right? Everybody was streaming, so there was always somebody streaming at any time. So it was pretty easy to find people that were, you know, close to what I was doing. And I met quite a few people through that who I'm still friends with to this day. Like there have been people that I've met that through streaming that I've actually like met in person as well, which is crazy to think. Like that played into a whole arc of my life. And so when I graduated, so I ended up graduating 2022, and I did a kind of a graduation celebration stream. So I just kind of like, you know, celebrated with people and did the whole stream, you know, just being around people that were supportive of me. And I decided it was time for me to prioritize my future. So I decided that I was going to put streaming on the back burner. I eventually graduate, find a job, and I stopped streaming. We graduated in 2020. It seems crazy to think about. Yeah, that's the other thing too. A lot of people like that would have graduated in 2020 or 2021 like didn't get to do that. And which sucks. It sucks. Because I remember even when we were in 2022, like people were still kind of people were still health conscious about the effects of COVID and everything. And we had our graduation ceremony like outside of, I believe, the quad of our university. So we had our graduation outside, which typically we would have it in one of our smaller venues with a whole big production. But this time it was just an outdoor thing, and that was pretty much it. Like we didn't get like all the bells and whistles for it. It was like you come in and sit there for like 3 hours and then you're done. And Yeah. So graduate, I end up getting a promotion sometime later on, and I just essentially put streaming on the back burner. And throughout those few years, like I've always thought I want to come back to streaming, but I don't know what I don't know what I wanted to stream at that point. Dropped out of spring 2018 because I got kicked out of my house. Yeah. Yeah. I ended up getting the promotion, so I just like didn't really think about streaming again. Also, I think there's an ad coming up, so I might hold off. Let me know if you got the ad. If you didn't, this is good. There's an ad. Listen, Twitch. I don't like when you put ads when I'm vibing. I'm just trying to vibe here, you know? Oh, you still didn't get the ad? I don't know how that works. Twitch has been not very clear on how ads work. Because people say, "Oh, I'm gonna turn off the ads for pre-rolls." Oh, I think it just started. Oh boy, what is this? Wait, I hope you didn't get those ones. Oh, I guess. Well, 10 out of 10 would do again. BRB then. Okay. Then I will BRB. Okay. Finally, it's back. Also, 60 minutes of no pre-roll ads. That's at least a plus. That's a plus. Oh, you get the Red Bull commercials too? I get those, and then I also get the... Is it the car insurance commercials? I think it might be like the... Like the... I don't know if it's like State Farm or American Insurance. I don't know. It's like one of those two. Yeah. What are we talking about? Oh, content, right? So come back this year. And what really pushed me to come back, I was like, why am I so focused on what to do than to just pick something and go for it? And that's what I did. I picked something that I wanted to do, something that I was inspired to do. And my first stream coming back was Five Nights at Freddy's, which I think was a great game to come back to. And, well, a great game to come back to streaming with. Live in the middle of the woods, so I always get food. That's like several hours away. Yeah. Although, I wouldn't mind living in the middle of the woods. I wouldn't mind it. As long as I have everything that I really want. Been streaming since 2013 on and off. Really just started again in 2020. Oh, what type of streams do you do? What's your content? Cause I started off again with Five Nights at Freddy's, played through the first 3 games, and then decided I want to take the break with that, and then took up a couple of other things, and then I just went off of that. One thing I learned is you don't always choose the content. Yeah. Sometimes the content just comes to you, or content is just, it's the journey sometimes. Yeah, because the one thing I've been struggling with lately is choosing what to do next. But I've been very good with pivoting once I figure out what to do. Because I'll be honest, today I did not have a concrete plan for stream, in the sense of I knew what I was going to do and this is what I'm going to do, right? I decided to do a co-working stream because I thought I have all these things I need to do and I need to start working on them so that way I can go ahead and, get some work done, but also still be on stream. Really, really wanted gaming and anime because I'm a weeb. 2018 started Insta for Widgie Pig and stuff. Not for everyone, it's okay, that popped off. That's good. I'm not familiar with like witchy pagan type of content. Like, I don't know. It might be that I've never seen it, or rather I have an idea of it, but then I just don't like, I don't have a general understanding of it to really have an opinion of it. Got like 800 followers, was like, okay, let me do tarot streams. I was doing 100 readings in 4 hours. Wow. 100 readings in 4 hours. That's a lot. I'm not going to lie. That's a lot for 4 hours. Because I would think like tarot readings are just, it's a lot. It's educational and just my practice. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. And here I thought gaming for 4 hours was a lot on just one game, but like 100 readings. That's if I was like, okay, let me play like several games within the span of a couple of hours or so. You've done 8-hour streams of tarot. Wow. I might be underestimating the power of the tarot cards. I mean, if I'll be honest, I've never had a genuine reading before, is what I was trying to find the words for. That's what it was. Because I think one time, so here's a funny story. I actually found that there was, so on TikTok, somebody had like DM'd me, or they first sent me a comment about a video, right? And then they were like, oh, like, I do this, I do readings, I can do this, I can do that. They're like, oh, I can read your energy. And they were like saying all these things about me in a comment, right? And they're like, I can feel this, I can feel that. So then I was like, okay, this might seem genuine. Let me go ahead and, check this out. I'm kind of curious. So then they DM me and everything, and they're like, okay, let me read you and stuff. Let me do a quick reading. And then I saw that they essentially were reading. They were reading me based off of what I was posting on my TikTok. And I'll be honest, at the time, I wasn't posting a whole lot on TikTok. It was just pictures of myself. It was probably some random, like, I don't know, like a photo trend or something. Like, there wasn't a lot to go off of to get like, I'd say like a very educated read off of me. And then what tipped me off was like, oh, like, I can do like all of these different type of things. Like, they would do readings, but they would also do like other things too, which kind of really like made things feel a little bit weird and off to me. Like, I don't know. I felt like the vibe was off generally when that was going on. I felt the vibe was just off. And once I figured that out, because first I thought the profile seemed familiar, so I was like, okay, let me look at the profile and check it. I checked it. I went through a couple of videos, and then I noticed something. Those videos were ripped off a different channel. And then I checked the usernames and stuff, and they were completely different. And I was like, oh, I know what's happening here. Like, you badly want me to get off TikTok so you could talk to me on a different platform, and therefore try to get me to pay me, or get me to pay you for some really weird service. Right? It's very common. After that, I started noticing a lot more. It was becoming more noticeable for me, because I was like, I was getting followed by different accounts that were basically clones of an account that I had already like followed and seen before. Yeah. And so the vibe was off. I ran. I immediately blocked really quick. I was like, I don't know what that is. That seems like it wasn't genuine. Reflect of, oh, you're cursed and only I can make the candle to break it. Yeah. So ever since then, I haven't even thought about getting a reading at all, because I was like, I don't know. Yeah, it was something that I just, it kind of spooked me a little bit, because I was like, oh, this is not great. And it could have been bad. I could have legitimately gotten scammed that day had I not checked the profile. Oh, for sure. Do you do them on Twitch or do you do them on YouTube? You grow TikTok to 1K in a month? That is, wow. That's amazing. I can't listen. I don't know how some people can do it. But there's some people that get to 1K. They get to like 2K, 4K. They get like 10K and stuff, and it's just like, I don't know how y'all do that. I don't know how to get to 1,000. So I'm like, I would love to have 1,000 followers on TikTok. Like, I barely have, last time I checked, like 70 something followers. But that's just cause I don't post a lot. And then when I do post, it also doesn't get a lot of views. But I did get some feedback from another creator that I've been following for a while, and I kind of picked their brain about how to go about posting content. It's because I'm doing live tarot. Not for that, I would have been struggling. Yeah, it's hard, but isn't it? Well, here's the thing. From my understanding, you don't get live access until you get to 1,000, right? Is that how I understand that? Because I'm pretty sure, yeah, you get 1,000 and then you get live access. Oh, okay. You deleted your gaming weeb account when TikTok went down and had like 200, maybe 300. See, and that's still good. 200, 300, that's still good. I feel like even my TikTok is still decent for what it is. But I ended up what is it? I ended up taking my gaming content and putting it on taking it onto a new account. So now I've started fresh. But now what I'm struggling to do is thinking of, okay, what kind of TikToks can pop off that will translate from people watching it to, watching me stream. Stream Elements lets you do it on PC. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, because I don't know exactly how that Stream Elements thing works. I really want to investigate, see how that works, because I've seen people do dual streams, like dual streams on TikTok and Twitch. So I want to do something like that eventually. But I want to know how it works. Because I think, from my understanding, is you have to have the upload bandwidth for both things at the same time. Which I don't know how that works for Stream Elements, or I don't know how much bandwidth I need for that. You had shit internet. Yeah, I'll just have to investigate it. Also, yeah, I did upload a clip to my TikTok, my first TikTok on my gaming account, which it did okay, but I didn't really get many follows from it, and I'm not upset over it. It's just like I just got to keep trying to put something out there. Like if I tested, your upload speed was like 34. See, well, 34 is still good. I think last time I checked it was roughly 23. So I still had. So with this stream, I'm taking up, let's see, my bandwidth is right around like 5700 kilobit upload, which still leaves a whole bunch left over for something else. It's just that Twitch doesn't like when I go up to 6K. Yeah, 34 on a good day. I was lucky to get 10. Yeah. Upload speed changed for me. Like it's changed. It used to be like, I think it was, normally it would be around 8, and then it went up to like 10, and then I think nowadays we got upgraded, so we ended up getting like 20, 23, 24 ish, and that's if everything's working correctly, which it is right now, because I can see that that the bit rates are going off fine. So I don't anticipate it being an issue if I were to try to do dual streaming. Yeah, we got upgraded and it's 30. There's a struggle to get 10. Yeah, yeah, it was a struggle back then, because I think before I had my current setup, like I was doing, I think it was like 5 max. It was like, no, I had 6. I had 6 I could use, but I only went up to 4,500. And yes, I do use OBS right now. I do use OBS. Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with all the technical stuff with streams. So it's like, I know how Stream Elements works. I know how OBS works. I used to use Streamlabs back in the day, so I know how that works. Oh yeah, I think I still have that on my PC. I just haven't used that one. I forgot why I stopped using it, because that was what I was using before, and then I decided to go with just clean OBS. Streamlabs was always yeah, I stopped using Streamlabs because essentially what was happening was the program itself was using way more resources than if I was just to use OBS and go from there. So I switched over to OBS and I left Streamlabs behind just because of the resource hogging. And now Streamlabs has become essentially like a privatized version of OBS, and it's like you got to pay for all these different things. I don't know how good it is nowadays, but it seems like now people just kind of stick to OBS and kind of Streamlabs too, but not as many people use it anymore. As far as I'm aware. 2020 experience. Let me see what we can do. People find OBS hard now. I'm just like, I used the TriCaster in school, which is OBS but professional. 100K piece of equipment. Yeah. I'm like, OBS is like, I find OBS simple enough to use and understand if you take the time to learn what each tab does in OBS. Oh, no worries. No worries about that. But yeah, OBS feels like the platform that you can understand how to use it if you just take the time to learn like why you're changing certain things. And you don't have to mess with everything. You just have to learn what it is you're going to be using all the time. Oh, okay. I like how Spotify is just playing my music randomly among the randomized playlist of lo-fi songs. I just find that interesting. I'm like, does Spotify suggest my music to people who are listening to lo-fi? I hope so. I hope it is. Okay, I've been staring at this for so long. I still don't know how to script this. Okay, 2020 experience. What would be a good hook for that? A good hook for 2020 experience. Could it be that we do... Opening scene could be 5 seconds. It could be something as simple as... The sun rises. The opening scene would be 5 seconds, so we could do the sunrise. Potentially the sunrise. The sunrise. It could also be something else. Welcome back, Ren. But yeah, I find OBS pretty simple to understand. And I think a lot of people don't realize that OBS is pretty simple. Exactly. Time to work on the co-work part of this stream. I've been trying to figure out the script for this video that I'm gonna do, or at least like what I plan to do for it, because it has to be based on the 2020 experience. So what it was, so essentially, okay. Let me see if I can find the actual prompt, the full message. So basically saying, coming up on the 5th anniversary of the 2020 lockdown, the period that changed so many lives and separated so many while simultaneously bringing so many together. For a retrospective project, I wanted to come up with a grand scoping film involving 20 different filmmakers, each producing a 20-second short film. These shorts will be compiled into a larger form, and if the project exceeds 20 filmmakers, it will be edited into multiple parts based on theme/emotion. To all filmmakers, tailor your vision. You can do whatever you want with the concept, original footage, a reel of your best shots, etc. It can be abstract or straightforward. It can range from one long take to a compilation of hundreds of tiny videos. It can also go over the past 5 years of your life, a quick monologue, a bit of a song, or even have no audio at all. Feel free to do whatever feels right for you as an artist. The only requirement is that it does not exceed 20 total seconds of length. Yeah. So the major things is 20 seconds has to be original footage. Yeah, it's pretty short to cover 5 years. But it can be done if you are doing like, you know how you have those TikTok videos sometimes where they're like the I want to say that the TikTokers that do the like I traveled in this place, and then they go like they do like a whole time lapse, or not a time lapse, but like a big long clip of like different places they've been. Sort of like a, what is it called? Is it like a carousel of like different clips that they took of their trip? I think it's something like that. Where they just go like, "Oh, I did this." They do like a few seconds shot of like something, like a place they went to, and then afterwards they do like a whole montage of different clips of places they went and things they did. Like I think that would be the easiest way to fit all those clips together. Velocity editing, I think, yeah. Yeah, you probably know more than I do. I have no idea of most most what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know a lot of cinematography terms. So, yeah. I should put that timer on. Bother me. So it's taking the sunrise, and then it's editing technique where you manipulate the speed of a video clip at different points. Hmm. Okay, that makes sense to me. Although it goes to, I think I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, it's not like a time lapse, but it's like similar. And now I'm thinking, see, because I could go with that. Yes, Nightcore. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Nightcore. Yes, I've seen plenty of those videos before. Those, yeah, they tend to do a lot of those type of films too, or type of editing style too. Mm. Oh, that's a type of velocity editing. Okay. Yeah. I The thing is, I don't know if I have, because I was looking at this earlier, and I looked at I looked at some stuff that I had, but I don't think I have enough footage to use for like that type of editing. I'd have to really check, but I don't know if I do. Nightcore is peak weeb, to be honest. Yeah, it is. And if if uh if I'll be honest, a lot of people think Nightcore is a new thing because they're like, "Oh, there's the sped up version of the sped up pitched up version of this song." And it's like a random thing, and it's like, you do know that's Nightcore, right? That's just Nightcore. They're like, how did we get back to Nightcore? What do we use for editing? I actually started learning DaVinci Resolve. So I took some time to learn the basics of DaVinci, and I started. That's how I edited my first YouTube video. That's how I edited it, and ever since then I've been trying to keep learning how to do stuff as I go. Which do I set it up as? Like, what do you mean? Because I'll be honest, like I am a total noob when it comes to DaVinci. Like I'm a total noob when it comes to that. Like sometimes I don't understand when some people are trying to explain something to me in terms of like, oh, do this here and then do this. When you first downloaded it, you want it to be set up like Adobe iMovie. Did it? Did it ask me if it was set up like Adobe or iMovie? I don't remember. I downloaded it a long time ago, and I remember I used to use it to edit. I think I did tell it to be set up sort of like similar to Adobe. I think that's what I did. I'm not sure. I don't know if there's a way to check on that, but I generally kind of take the principles of what was done on Adobe Premiere. Adobe certified, so that's how you set it up. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I would have done Premiere Pro, but I can't justify doing the whole subscription thing with Adobe. I'm more of a give me the thing I want, I'll pay it all up front or something, and just give me the program. I don't care. But ever since they switched to subscription based, I was like, nope, I'm not doing that. I mean, I had a license when I went to school. I'm like, nope, I'm not going to do that. And I don't know where you stand on the whole, like, is Adobe morally, is it morally correct to pirate it? But yeah, as of right now, I don't use any of it. I don't use any of it. I use the free alternatives right now for everything. So I'll use Photopea for Photoshop, and I use DaVinci for the for video editing. I was gonna do Darktable for the Lightroom alternative, but I found it super hard to learn. It was super hard to learn. So I was like, let me just do basic edits, and I'd rather just learn how to do better photography. Oh, Blender for After Effects. Okay. I thought to myself it'd be probably better for me to just learn how to do better photography, so that when I do have to edit, it'll just be very minimal. So I don't have to do like more of the advanced stuff that needs to be done in like Lightroom or anything like that. Use Clip Studio Paint for drawing in Photoshop. I know I never thought about you using CSP for Photoshop. I know it was done for drawing. I remember back then I used to use a Paint Tool Sai for drawing because I have a drawing tablet and stuff, but I don't use it anymore. Well, there goes my clock. I think the one thing I need to think about is what type of story do I want to tell in terms of the 2020 experience. It's like, what's the story I want to tell? And actually, I will BRB. I have to, I'll BRB really quick. Like, give me like 2 seconds. Okay. Sorry. I just really had to go. All right. And I still go back and drink more water. As if I didn't just go just now. Okay. Yeah, what story do I want to tell with this 2020 experience? Do I want to tell it from the perspective of myself as a collective group? Or should I do it in a way that that's more relatable to other people? Because the script is just a general outline of how you want things to be put together. I just really want to... What's the story I want to tell? That's what I want to figure out. What's the story? What's the story that can be told? That often gets overlooked. Maybe if I ask Google, be like, what are some stories about COVID? Thank you, Ren. I appreciate it. Mm. Okay. Wait, but that's a story about COVID. I don't want the story to be about COVID. I want it to be about the experience during that time and the after effects of it. But like, how do I condense that to 20 seconds? Hmm. What are some the overall pandemic experience? Could do it documentary style. I could. I could do that. I could do that. But I think for documentary style, I'm thinking way too ambitious for it. I think it's very ambitious of me to do it documentary style. Okay, so what was the overall impact for you during COVID? So for me personally, it was COVID brought in a lot of changes to my life. It was, losing the program that I was in during my time in college. It was also losing the progress. Well, it wasn't losing the progress. It was the fact that my health was declining. Now do a whole video. Now do a whole video, and of the course make the 20-second project as a trailer. Oh, interesting. Okay. I see you, Ren. I see you. I see you. That's right. You're great. You're great. Ren, I like your vibe. I like your vibe. I think I think you have a great vibe to you. And I appreciate you putting up with me uh throughout this entire time. I'm trying to get everything done. Got to brainstorm and you're good at it. See? See, like I can come up with good brainstorm ideas. I just have to like be familiar with what I'm using it for. Since I'm brainstorming something for like obviously like filmmaking, it's interesting. Used to RP a lot. My favorite part was throwing the ideas around. So you just reminded me. So not gonna lie, I'm gonna out myself here. I may or may not have partaken in RP a long time ago. Okay, a long time ago. Not now. A long time ago, like years ago. I'll say that. Yeah. And then you just reminded me of that. But yeah, I think I have a good sense of brainstorming, but sometimes I get caught up in the uh aspect of what I'm doing it for. And I think that sometimes gets in the way of my brainstorming. My weeb, yes. Totally not anime club president in high school. See, your high school had a anime club. We didn't have that. I think the only thing we had that I was a part of was a health club. And I'll be honest, like the most we did was just have a table out at lunch and we were presenting like I don't know resources for like student health and all that. I love to write but hated doing so alone, so reserved. We're great. Almost didn't. We almost got banned from the school. What did you guys do? How do you get banned? Don't tell me you guys were doing were don't tell me you guys were showing hentai in it. You did nothing, but you were president. What do you mean you did nothing? Man, I would. What did you do? It's worse. It's worse than that. It's worse. It's worse. Like, what had happened? I mean, you don't have to say it, but that's crazy. Okay, this was before I was president. It stayed because I was president. What do you mean? Oh boy. I have to prepare for something crazy then. Mm, you know that we see you, respect you. Mm, okay, okay. I think I got an idea. Predictable year in an otherwise predictable world. We're learning kindness towards taking care of Earth, taking care of ourselves and each other. Learning we can find the money for which is necessary. We're learning that there are certain things we cannot live without, or we can live without. Okay. So I can go with that angle too. Work. Supposed to be on 2 weeks, month. Looks like he's returning for more months. And binge watching TV. Therapist. Coming out of the crowded of the streets and sidewalks where rolls her eyes, quickens her pace. Deep breath. Mm. Let's see. Each day is the same. Each day is a routine. Each day we forgive each other 1,000 times without saying anything. Wow, that's a line. Each day we forgive each other 1,000 times without saying anything. Wow, that's a line. Hmm. As a health practitioner, recently graduated, came back home, so excited, looking for jobs. Hmm. Oh boy. My throat is starting to hurt. Give me 1 sec. Let me grab something real quick. But I will read it. That's the one thing they don't tell you about streaming. You got to get used to talking. And if you talk a lot, your voice is going to start hurting. Okay. My sophomore year, a kid was doing self. Oh, boy. It was because Anime Club full on investigation happened. I had to disband that year to teacher not supervising. Oof. That is bad. Next year, my friend was president and her twin VP. Let's say they didn't hold meetings as often. And the kid before us started more stuff, getting new teacher, almost fired, and the club banned. Whoa. Not sure what he did, to be honest, because I didn't show up because it was canceled a lot. But it was my friend who was the president back then. Basically talking shit and causing drama. It got to the point where no teacher was going to be a sponsor. Also, the quotations were for attention because he didn't even admit to me. He had admitted that to me my senior year when he was a junior. Wow, that is... Wow. All this over Anime Club. That in itself could have very well have been an anime in itself, or at least like a plot to an anime or something. Principal basically said no when it got disbanded the second time. Yeah, I would be like, listen, I don't know what's going on with y'all. But can't do it. Because it's too much. It's too much, right? Too much for school. Senior year, asked the principal who knew me from TV production class. Yeah, I would almost be certain I'd be like, yeah, I'd rather have a hentai incident rather than a incident where somebody was trying to do like self-harm and stuff like that. President and find a teacher. Yeah, I would. Let me ask you, was it worth it? If they're going through all that, was it worth it? I found the journalism teacher who I knew would be a great fit since he was too weeb with an anime pin on his backpack. Oh, even the teacher was a weeb? That's crazy. That's crazy. I've never seen a teacher with any weeb tendencies or any indication of being a weeb. I found great teachers, but never any weebs. And I wish we had more like anime club stuff. Oh no. No, not the ad break. Oh, okay. Well, fortunately, we didn't get to do the stuff I would have wanted, but I was rebuilding the club named It's Pop Culture Association. See, that's better. Get away from the anime club and just do general pop culture stuff. I mean, you could still do the anime stuff, but you would still be able to include other people and kind of get away from that stigma that the anime club had back then. So, how do I just. I can't snooze it. I can't do anything. What did. Okay, well. I don't know why it's doing that. Previous years, it was just anime and only anime we did for gaming and fandom. Hmm. Actually, speaking of which, you ever been to a convention before? You know, since you've been anime club president and all? Hmm. Yeah. I. Oh no. Not the ad. Why does Twitch take so long with that? That is crazy. You've never been. Oh. Okay. Well, I'll do. Rip. How do I choose? Hmm. Okay. I'll keep that there. Hopefully it sticks. Wait, Twitch doesn't tell me how long. Oh, hang on. I'll BRB. Okay. We're back. I'm back. You had a okay, so you had a whole Google Drive full of event planning, spring break trips to Japan or conventions, summer break events, and everything for the following years to use. Wow, that's pretty good. That's actually really good. Again, I kind of wish I had wrote a whole SOP for the club. Wow. So you just like that's really good. Again, I wish we had anime club in school. I would have probably met so many other people. What I would have talked to more people in high school. I didn't talk to too many people in high school. Was it extremely expensive? Yes, but I wanted to build a solid foundation that they didn't before. Yes. Especially when you're president, you want to make things really good and make them useful for other people to use. Which is really good. I didn't get to talk to a lot of people in high school. Well, mostly because I was shy. And I just kind of kept to myself all the time. Which I guess that's where all the anime time that I had. And I grew into. Because I spent so much time watching anime. At one point, I think I binged the entirety. At one point, I binged the entirety of the Danganronpa anime in a single night. And that's when I knew, I'm like, I'm such a weeb that I will watch the entirety of the anime in one sitting. And there were other times where I would watch animes and finish them within a couple of days. That's when I knew I was deep in it. And it wasn't until I think it was 2022. It was 2022 when I decided to go to an anime convention. My first convention. And it was a great experience. I even cosplayed for it. Just crazy. Your VPN sponsor helped and knew exactly what you wanted from it. That's good. I mean, it's good that you have a support system around you. Me too, but haven't. Would also love to go to TwitchCon. I would like to go to TwitchCon too. I would like to see what it's like to be at TwitchCon. Because I know what it's like to be in a small convention. I know what it's like to be in a bigger convention. But I don't know what it's like to be in a convention like TwitchCon or like Anime Expo or like Fan Expo that sometimes comes around. One of the small streamers I know went to TwitchCon. Did they like it? Because I know sometimes there's some wild stories that come out of TwitchCon, which sometimes scares me to go to like a bigger convention like that. He had a blast. Well, that's good. I haven't heard too terrible things about TwitchCon, but it is something that I eventually want to go to. I wanted to create a virtual con. Like how so? How did you wrote a whole thing for it? How did you visualize it? Let's see. So we can do this. "2020 was an unpredictable year in an otherwise predictable world." I could also do... I just thought of another way I could do the 20-second clip thing. I could do a tabletop interview with myself. Do it interview style. And put some like B-roll in the background. Because I think I do have some footage that I could use just as like B-roll for it. Let's see. I didn't take enough video at the con. No. Kind of like a train. We basically line up a streamers at a specific time. I don't know, 2 or 3 hours they could raid to the next person. Basically, if you followed the raid, it'd be 24 hours of 30 days of stream nonstop. Ooh. Oh, you know what? You know what? It could have been something like what's it called? Like, do you know what GDQ is? Games done quick. So they do a similar thing, except they put in... So I think how it works is they have a couple of channels. So they'll do, let's see, summer. So GDQ. So it's like Games Done Quick. It's like a charity marathon of like speedrunning, right? So they'll do that whole event. It's like an in-person thing, but they also do they do the Twitch streams. So so they will do... Hold on. Okay. Yeah. So what they'll do is they'll do like the whole convention in person, but they'll also do a Twitch live stream that is, I believe it goes on for like 24 hours. No, it goes on for a while. I don't remember exactly how long. I don't remember how long it goes, but I know it's like continuously showing different POVs of people who are speedrunning games. Like it'll be like one speed, like they'll have like time blocks. It'll be like, this time block is going to be dedicated to this type of speed run. This time block is going to be a different one. And then they keep going on from there. But they have different players doing that based off of the whole idea of everybody's doing like a speed run of their own game of choice and stuff. And it made me think of that. And they do that, I think, every year. It's Sometimes they'll do it in the summer, sometimes they'll do it in the winter, but I know for sure they always do it in the summertime. It always comes up on Twitch. It's like pretty big. It gets like a lot of viewers during that time. Want to start a visual thing, then go to like TwitchCon, Anime Expo Eats, E3. You wanted it to be virtual and 1 day physical event. Yeah. I can see how the concept would work. I'm just curious if it was possible, right? That you could have a bunch of streamers, right? So hear me out. So how you could expand on that, right? How can you could expand on it is you have the event on one single channel. Now, how it would work is you have that one channel. You have a lineup of streamers that you want on there. And what you do is you give each streamer a copy of that streamer key. So when it comes up, right? You do like, okay, this streamer gets this time block, this streamer gets the next one, and then you just play streamer tag with one account instead of everybody, instead of everybody just raiding out to different channels. That was also an idea. Because I would think that would work. I would think that would work pretty much the same, maybe a little bit better. Because the risk you have with raiding out is you'll have a drop off of viewership. Yeah. Because I was thinking you could have it where you time it out, right? You time it to where as soon as somebody presses end stream, the other one pops up. So it'd be like, it just immediately goes blank and then goes on, like right away. That way you have less than a 5 second, like less than a 5 to about, I want to say 30-second delay in between people being ready for the stream. So that way you don't have to raid out, because sometimes raiding does take some time. And then you also have people who just, I don't know, they don't always stick around for every single streamer. Yeah, trial and error. Yeah, it's a lot of trial and error with that too, because again, you have the risk of people dropping off. So I would say, yeah, it's a bit of trial and error, because you could absolutely raid out, but you kind of have to rely on people clicking the whole, because I think when you raid, you have to click that you're joining the raid too. And some people would click off the leave raid. So there's that too. If I did one channel, the problem with it would be the bits and gifted subs. Ooh, that is true. That is true. You'd have to. Yeah, it would take a lot more logistical. Or not. Is it logistical? Is that the word I'm looking for? It would take a lot more effort to split up the bits and gift subs and all that stuff. So that would be That would be more for one. Oh no, if you're in chat, you would go along with the raid unless you leave the stream. Okay. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Because I know sometimes you have some people that are lurking, and I don't know if you get sent over into the raids too. But yeah. Was lurking and ended up in like 5 raids. Yeah, that'd be crazy. Just 5 different raids. Although that idea, I think that's been something that's been done before with VTubers. I think they used to do like what is it, like debut trains is what they called it, where like whenever like a group of VTubers were debuting, they would have them debut one after another, and they would just like play raid tag with it and just keep raiding each other, supporting a friend. So yeah, I went along with it. Yeah. Oh boy, my throat is feeling it now. But yeah, it's yeah, the also thank you for the follow, Ren. I appreciate it. It can work out. I think it can work out. It can definitely work out. Also, thank you for the hydrate. It can work out. It just takes things. I'll never understand the hydrate being a tree. I think it might be that they're thinking that hydrate is like, I don't know, because you're watering a tree. So it's basically like subconsciously telling you to water trees or something like that. You're probably subconsciously doing that. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I should probably get out of the category of co-working because I think I've already I've gone off the rails. Hydrate or diurate. Exactly. Listen, it's co-working. Wait, what? Huh? I just, huh? What? Oh, okay. I guess we are co-working. Hang on, let me get rid of this timer. Okay, hold on. Let me just do this. I'm gonna get rid of that. Okay. I'm gonna get rid of that page. Yes, we're co-working your idea. Wait, what? Oh. Wait, can you hear that? Thank you for that redemption. Thank you for that redemption. Oh. Wait, who is this? Like, wait, so funny thing. I just got a notification that I got gifted a sub to somebody. And then I'm like, that name sounds familiar. But then I realize I don't follow this person, so I don't know where I found this person at all. And I just got gifted a sub in a channel that I don't remember going to. coming up with channel point ideas. So that's the other thing too that I was going to work on too, was the besides scripting and editing, I was going to oh, if they give more subs than they have followers, it subs to random people. Gotcha. Yeah. So besides from doing all that, I was going to investigate updating stream features like the channel point stuff. But honestly, that's the one thing I don't have a lot of creativity in doing, in terms of like coming up with good reward tiers. Like I know for subs, like obviously you'll have the ad-free viewing, and then you get emotes. And I do want to get emotes eventually to put them on the channel. And I need to find a decent emote artist to work with. Use ChatGPT to give you ideas to brainstorm. Interesting. What is your take on ChatGPT as an assistant platform, or assistant tool, I should say? Assistant tool versus a creative tool? Because I'm of the mindset that it sucks as a creative tool, like in terms of like creating stuff for you, but it's helpful in the regard of assisting you to solve some of your like your queries. Yeah, it does suck. Because I tested it out a couple of times and I hated it. I'm like, no, you absolutely do not know how to create things. It's great for resources and references. Somewhat, I did notice that I know that somebody, well, there was a streamer I was watching last night actually, where they were talking about ChatGPT and how bad it was. And they had mentioned that they did a study where they asked ChatGPT to find the sources to a particular article, and they mentioned that it was roughly around 60% of the time it was wrong. So it was only 40% right. It writes my blog post, but only because 1, I plug the info I want, and 2, gives the examples of my writing style, and I always edit myself. Yeah. So for me, if I use ChatGPT to help me with something, like I'll write the thing out. Like for example, I was working on the script earlier for one of my personal TikToks, like the whole thing that I was gonna say, and I already wrote it out and everything. I just needed it to give me sort of advice of like what I can do to improve it and to keep it flowing without without being too wordy and not a detriment, you know. Sometimes I'll write all I wanted to say and I'll be like, here, make it fluent. Okay. Yeah. I just kind of personally just go for like, just assist me in helping me improve it. Like I'll take something and just improve it, and like I'll be happy with it. because it knows what I'm going for. Like it really knows what I'm going for. I just want it to match. I want it to be, I guess, cleaner and make sense. And that's what I do when I come up with certain scripts or certain things of poetry. Creative eyes only. So you work with it a lot. Okay, yeah. Yeah, because I also used it for my resumes. Because I split up my resumes now. I have one that's catered towards customer service, and then one for, I guess, my different aspiration of being in a coordinator role. But yeah. So far though, job market sucks, so I can't say that it worked or not. It's because it's very hard to find stuff out there. Oh god. Oh, dream job? Is it your dream job to be a coordinator or something like that? Because I used to be an assistant. I used to be an assistant for a coordinator, but I was running for. I was helping run a recreation facility. So that's what I was doing that before, I came back to streaming. What's my dream job? My dream job would have to be something like I really wanted to be a producer. I really wanted to be a producer and by extension be my own artist. Because that's what I had gone to school for. But unfortunately, it sucks because I didn't get the opportunities to go to too many internships. And by the time like I got into a rhythm and got into getting around to applying to some of these internships, it was kind of too late. And most of the internships didn't want to take in a college graduate. They wanted somebody who was in school because that's the only way that they could do it. They wanted to say like they were providing school credit instead of just letting me intern there. Go to DJing, to Twitch, and get into music. See, I did that before. Yeah, they wanted non-pay. Yeah, I didn't mind that it was non-pay. It was just like they were just really strict about making it college credit. Like they wanted to apply it as college credit. Like they wanted students. They didn't want to graduate for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. I feel like a lot of these places they only want college students. They don't want the college grads. You have a hard time with video editing? You're overqualified and have no portfolio? Do you? I'm assuming you learned all of this in school, right? You learned everything in school. And you have like all the certifications, right? That go along with it. That, well, typically would go with it, right? Because you had mentioned earlier you were Adobe certified. Man, School, we didn't have footage, so it was mostly videos of photos. And yes. Oh, okay. My other question would be, why wouldn't you edit for yourself and put that out into the world? Like either for yourself or for other people. Because I know people are always looking for editors too to go with that. It's like an elaborate slideshow at best. Actually, I'll be right back again. Drinking too much water. Oh, you were gonna make a film for a film festival, a love story, but couldn't find an actor for it. No voice actors and artists, but they're all busy with life. Oh, really? Interesting. Hmm. See, and I'm over here like trying to learn how to edit and stuff. I just, I don't know. Sometimes for me, like I want to learn how to edit, but I don't think about the edits. Oh, wait, hang on. I did, however, edit for a YouTuber. It was an application to edit for him paid. He used the video he wanted to edit. Let's see how it should go. Oh, okay. So he basically told you to just go ahead and edit and stuff. Hmm. And chosen though, I guess it wasn't the style I wanted. What would you say your style is, if I can ask? Actually, I should turn these on. I have quite a bit. Sorry, I'm still here. I'm just dang it. Okay, I have that. And then you're adaptable by nature. Was this in the space or something like that? Was it in the gaming space or was it something? Most YouTubers have this YouTube kind of editing. I guess I don't get it. Okay. My go-to is cinematic. Okay. I got you. What actually, if you don't mind, could I ask you to give like a quick critique on my editing style? Gaming kind of easy to be honest, but annoying clipping or beeping profanity. Like, what do you mean by annoying clipping? Like, do you mean just scrubbing through the through the video and just cutting things? Yeah, so basically cutting out all the dead air. Yeah, that's what I kind of had to do for my for my um for my first video. It was a lot of like scrubbing through and just chopping things up that just wasn't adding anything to the actual video itself. I think I must have gotten, what was it? It was like maybe 2 or 3 hours worth of footage. 30 minutes in an hour? How do you do that? Because it took me a week. And that was after I learned how to do the whole shortcut thing on the keyboard and stuff. But like it still takes me so long and I don't know why. Like I don't know what I'm missing really with that, because I tend to try to take my time to go through everything, listen in to see if I find anything noteworthy, and then keep that in. But with my first video, I had gone through about 3 hours. I went through everything, and then I ended up cutting it down to 10 minutes. But then I realized there was a lot of filler, so I ended up cutting it down to about 5 minutes or so. The easiest way to get through the basics and cutting of it and cutting out, dead air or anything is listening to it on a playback speed is higher, because you'll be like, oh, no talking. Yeah, that's what I do too. That's what I did. But then, like, I don't know why it took me so long the first time. Maybe it was because, no, the cuts took me, I think it took me 2 sessions. And then the rest of the time, it was learning how to edit. It was actually learning how to do specific type of zoom ins. And then it was putting in like sound effects and thinking of ways to put in jokes in between. Like, I'm not going to say they're the best, but it's certainly better than to just upload the entire gameplay on YouTube and just hope something was going to come up from it. Oh, the journey. And I just got an idea now. Hmm. With the amalgamation. Wait, is that the word I'm looking for? Amalgamation? No, that's not. Oh, okay. No worries, Rainy. I'm just thinking I probably should end stream soon, anyways. But yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you, taking your time out of your day and coming in and just talking with me and stuff, and giving me some good brainstorming ideas and pointers on stuff that I'm curious about. But yeah, thank you. Wait, the Molly Pod server? Oh, that's right. Molly's server. That's right. Okay. Okay, got you. Yeah. Yeah, have a good rest of your stream, or have a good stream. Sorry, I can't talk today. I can't talk now, even though I've been talking for a while. But yeah, I'll probably stop by your stream. Are you streaming on Twitch? If you're still here, if you are, I'll probably hop in. But yeah, thank you otherwise for stopping by. I appreciate it. All right. And on that note, I should end stream. I would like to take the time to thank everybody who stopped by today. I really appreciate everybody's time. And we did get some stuff done. I know I got a couple of tasks done. And yeah. I'd just like to thank Ree for cheering 100 bits. I really appreciate that. Also appreciate Ren for following and finding me on today. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys all.